Big embryo.
Is that focused or?
That is focused. It's that thick of a slide.
This is wedding?
This is a giant embryo. This is actually its eye. You can see the brain
Now, is
here.
eye acceptable or do you want like optic?
Eye would be acceptable. You can see here the somites have now started to turn into bits of early spine.
Would we like make you see this, or would you see it earlier?
Most likely the
Is
early
this a
scans.
4X too?
Guess what that is?
No, heart.
Heart side. Heart, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was heart.
What's that?
That's it.
That is a follicle. Right?
Nope.
That is a blastome here. Blastocyst.
That is a blastocyst. This is actually frog. What are these cells? The ICM or inner cell nets. What are these guys?
Blastome.
Good.
Wait. What was it?
Trophoblast.
Trophoblast.
What's a blastome here? Is that the cell that's the cells that form up in blastocyst? Oh. So there's a trophoblast.
Yeah, it's pretty much a different cut of the same thing. This is because it's a bunch of cross sections of the same thing. This is the neural groove, by the way.
That happens on the outside of the blastome.
Because the neural groove eventually, you've got gastrulation, so you form endoderm, ectoderm, mesoderm, and then the neural groove starts forming in the ectoderm, and that's where you get the spine and stuff like that from.
Well, I thought that was like since trophoblast in that spot at the outside.
Because what does the trophoblast form?
Well, since this one trophoblast forms the placenta, I feel like.
But what is the cellular trophoblast form?
The amnion? I don't know. What, the endoderm?
You guys have a picture in your book, follow it. Yes. And so trophoblast doesn't have anything really to do with the baby. The trophoblast has to do with the placenta. So think, because they were saying like structures on the embryo, and I'm like, the trophoblast isn't going to form embryo, it's forming placenta. Okay, so I hear uterus. Hey, what phase is this, people?
Secretory.
Yeah. No. Menstrual?
Wait, that's there's a weird Oh, yeah.
So start up here.
Is this?
What's this?
Okay, and myometrium.
It's myometrium. Myo. Notice muscle. Muscle, 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 muscle. Guess what? Glands. How much glands are the? Yes, who said secretory? Why did you say secretory? Because you
All
were
the
right.
glands are big and open.
Good. Many, many glands, big and open. Way to be.
Glands look more complex as well.
And very complex. Yes.
So what stage was that in?
That was the proliferative phase.
Or was it secretory?
Or excuse me, secretory.
Okay. Because all the glands were wide open, is that what you're saying?
Because all the glands were open, they have lots and lots of structure to them, so they go like this, instead of just being like little round things.
Okay. There's another uterus.
But yeah, if you look at the shape of it.
Okay, so what's down here?
Myometrium.
That's all myometrium. What about this area from like here to here?
Basal zone.
That's basilar zone. Okay.
Zone of the
What about from about here to here? That's the functional zone. What phase is this?
Proliferative.
Very good.
So
Why would you say that?
Because it's thick, but there's not a lot of glands.
It's not too thick. There's not a lot of glands, and the glands that you can see are pretty simple looking. And the outside doesn't look like it's going to fall off immediately after. Yes.
Would you ask us what kind of epithelium that is? Probably not.
I might, because you're supposed to know what uterine epithelium is, and so what is it?
Well, I've heard different things, so I want to know what you think it is.
I want to know what you know it is because it says it in your book.
let's take a look.
Columnar? No. Portal?
I just like to look at it and then
Is it stratified squamous?
Don't ask me, you should know this.
okay, so it looks like there's a division there. There's what's on the very, very outside of it.
Well, I've seen two different kinds on some of the slides I've looked at.
There's only one kind, but you have to look at a good section. What does your book say it should be?
That looks columnar.
Is there histology of the uterus section?
There is, and it lists it. I believe it is also in my PowerPoint presentation, which is why I'm making you look it up.
Look columnar.
Yes, very good.
What's the answer?
Simple columnar. No, wait, let me check it. Hold on. I might have spoken too soon because it might be in the fallopian tube that it's simple columnar. It's not transitional because transitional is only in the renal system.
Let's find it.
It didn't look like this though, it was less than.
I haven't seen any cilia.
There's no cilia in the uterus. It's only in the fallopian tubes. It is simple columnar epithelium.
That's what Wikipedia says as well.
Yeah.
And about 7 of it.
And it's also what's in one of your book diagrams.
Good.
So, yeah, it was simple columnar. I had to remember that.
And that's what it looks like, so good.
Yep.
Everywhere in the unit.
Pretty much everywhere. It's actually simple columnar in the fallopian tubes too, but there's cilia there. And then it transitions, so what is the cervix then? It's stratified squamous, I believe. Because it's like epithelium, basically. And then the vagina goes all the way into mucosal tissue, so like stratified squamous with mucus gland.
So these are the simple columnar, and then what are all these cells?
So you tell me.
We said those are some color, what are the rest?
So those are simple columnar. If you've got it going, remember that there is remember that those cells in the functional zone and the basilar zone are still,
Muscle cells?
no, that's still epithelia. It just gets thicker and thicker and thicker.
Okay.
But they count it for being the top layer, and that there are some glands that are down into.
So what kind of epithelia are those? Because those don't look cuboidal to me. The ones down below, like those.
These guys?
Yeah.
Like almost stratified.
No,
not
not
those.
those.
Well, remember, glands are cuboidal.
No, everything else, like this whole, there's like the whole, all those cells.
So like what would be lamina propria, you know?
It would be lamina propria in there, but then too, remember that the uterine lining gets
Wait, there's smooth muscle though, right? We go back down a little bit.
this
That's all.
here.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of, it's getting mixed up between, because remember the basilar zone is going to stain a little bit different too.
Okay. But isn't that
That is smooth muscle, so that's part of the myometrium.
good? Okay, good.
If I show you a layer, it's going to be like a definite, like, hey, that's smooth muscle, or
Right.
hey, that's epithelia, or hey, there's glands there, therefore it must be this layer, okay? I'm not going to show you anything that's like tricksy, okay? You know me.
No tricks.
I don't do tricksy things.
Just FYI, in the PowerPoint, it doesn't say what kind of epithelium it is.
Well, I talked about it. I know I did, because I remember looking it up before that class.
Whoa. So,
Dude, I'm so glad that I'm not showing you guys the slide of the test tomorrow. This is fallopian tube.
That's a
That's
interesting,
a different stain.
it looks like it's sweet.
like a sweater.
Okay. So, what is this?
Is that an ovary?
It is an ovary.
Give them all.
So what is this?
That's a tertiary follicle,
What is this?
secondary.
Secondary. What is this nice big thick pink ring?
Zona pellucida.
Zona pellucida. What is this? These cells. The corona
Yes.
radiata.
We're doing it well.
So right down here, corona radiata. What are these cells?
Yeah.
And
Fecal here.
People there.
Granulosa, remember the ones that are right up against the oocyte.
well, don't they also form a ring around the whole follicle as well?
They do, but when you get up to this layer, you're going, is it, because remember, they start out in the primary follicle, and it's like the granulosa cells, then the fecal cells, and then the follicular cells. So out here, what are these? Follicular cells.
I thought the thing